welcome to Business Daily on Trust TV. My name is Chamun Dabeng. Let's talk numbers. Let's start off with the market this morning. You're welcome back, and once again, my name is Chamun Dabeng. Now, as we recap the year and take a look at some of the economical decisions made by the federal government of Nigeria in 2021 and how it will impact the economy come 2022, it's a little difficult to have this conversation without bringing in the controversial E-NAIRA. Now, if you recall, Africa's first digital currency, the E-NAIRA, was launched on the 25th of October, making Nigeria one of only 5 nations to have their own digital currency. The most recent numbers show that the E-NAIRA has garnered more than 488,000 downloads of the speed wallets that's needed to transact E-NAIRA, while about 78,000 merchants from over 160 countries have enrolled. Now, at the beginning, the announcement for the release for the E-NAIRA was met with a little confusion. Now, before I introduce my guests in the studio, let's take a look at this report put together by Mardia Umar at the beginning of this whole digital currency discussion.
The much anticipated date of the launch of the E-NAIRA is finally here, and according to the Central Bank of Nigeria, the launch of the E-NAIRA is a culmination of several years of research in advancing the boundaries of payment system in Nigeria in order to make transactions easier and seamless for every strata of the society. But how much does the ordinary Nigerian know about the E-NAIRA?
First and foremost, when I saw the announcement, the first thing came to my mind is that what is E-NAIRA in the first place? I have to go to pick my phone and Google and see what E-NAIRA is all about. But the two things I saw there is coins. You understand, 75 coins and all this thing there. I said, does it mean government is trying to bring back the coins we have forgotten? Are they trying to bring it into circulation, or what is it?
I don't have much detail about that E-NAIRA, but I'm hearing that the president is going to launch it today. So they've not really given us how it works, how it looks like. I've not seen it. So I would like more information about it.
I actually read about it in the papers anyway. I discovered that, I read that there was e-currency stuff that was people were dealing with it in Nigeria, and I heard the government said that people were using that to launder money, to do things that were unprintable things, and I guess the central bank banned that, and they want to bring their own to replace that anyway.
A financial and business expert, Steve Nwachukwu, explains the E-NAIRA policy.
E-NAIRA is just like any other form of digital transactions that you conduct, like you do transfer. So now this is a platform where you can also do the same transaction using the E-NAIRA. It's a digital currency, so you don't have a physical touch of it, but you can do electronic transactions using the E-NAIRA. Just like any other innovation would definitely have its own challenges and have its own limitations. E-NAIRA would definitely face one other challenges that any other EU platforms or digital transactions also face. It could also face the issue of the hackers. How is it security, how is it, what will I say, secured, in the sense that how difficult will it be for hackers to penetrate? This is the first challenge it's going to face. If this E-NAIRA solves this very aspect of problem, it's going to widen the business range, it's going to create more opportunities, it's going to widen even that very method of paying or transacting. Where you have issues, you can quickly resolve them. On the aspect of growing your economy, yes, it will also in later run impart in the business community. By the time you have a seamless way of conducting your business through DICT as a form of ease of doing business, it's really definitely going to impact positively to the economy.
All right, joining me in the studio to have this conversation, to take a look at the E-NAIRA's journey so far up until now and how it's going to play out in 2022 is business developer John Bosco Usman. John Bosco Izinwa. Pardon me for that. You're welcome to the show. And we also have blockchain expert Tochukwu Isa Usman. You're welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
Great to have you guys here. Yes, so E-NAIRA has been, it's been quite a short journey so far. It hasn't been around for that long, but there's still quite a few, talks around it. I mean, even for the transport palliative that's being proposed come 2022, is supposed to use the E-NAIRA. They're supposed to drop the 5,000 Naira monthly palliative in those wallets. So there is still, plans for the E-NAIRA in 2022. Now, so far, I mean, comparing this video to the situation that we are in today, so far, how do you feel the CBN has done by way of creating awareness to the people on the benefits of the E-NAIRA? Let me start off with you.
Great. Thank you, Shaman, for inviting me. So the CBN is the big brother currently in Nigeria, solving all the problems, all the financial issues, social welfare, creating social safety net. But as regards the E-NAIRA, my opinion, I think a lot of awareness has not been created. A lot of work has not been done to better still reach the rural communities, or better still people who don't understand all of this. So the CBN has a lot to do to bring awareness, because there's still a divide. Many young Nigerians are not really embracing the E-NAIRA or the e-wallet. They still look up to trading crypto and foreign exchange on platforms they barely understand as well. So you see, playing that big brother role, I believe CBN thought through all of this and stepped in to save most capital flight, because many Nigerians are interested in crypto, just like what is happening across the world. The young people here look up to other young persons across the world and wanting to be in the same space. But you see, it's a space that is filled with so much uncertainty. A lot of funds have been lost. There have been a lot of what do you call it now? There have been a lot of troubles at that end. So the E-NAIRA was introduced, better still, with all its benefit, and chiefly to solve this problem. But awareness has not been done, and that will make acceptability very difficult.
All right.
I think I share with him partly, and to a very great extent, each time I come to speak on this E-NAIRA, I would always say that it is more political than reality. Why would I say so? Because we always hasten up to invent some certain things that, in the real sense, that those inventions should affect the average lifestyle of Nigerians, like those in the rural areas. For example, if you look at the 5,000 Naira they are planning to dish out via the e-wallet, who are going to be the major targets and beneficiaries? They are those in the rural areas. These are people who doesn't even understand the language of blockchain. These are also people who doesn't even understand the language of e-wallet. Now, how are you going to transfer such money to them? Let's not begin to reel out and applaud the number of people who have downloaded this wallet. One thing is to download the wallet, And another thing is to make use of the wallet, for the purpose of what the E-NAIRA is meant for, which is monetary transaction. And let me tell you, most people may not even be, and why most Nigerians are not buying into this e-wallet stuff is on the fact that it's not tradable, just like other cryptocurrency. Do you understand? It's just a medium of exchange. So people will be more accustomed to, doing their normal physical naira transaction with local people than telling them E-NAIRA. What you don't understand about transaction via wallet, because they know that they can't make use of them. So while we hit on this awareness, it is also important for us to understand that most time when government takes these actions, it's just for people to applaud them that, hey, they've done this, we are the first in Africa to do this. But does it really serve the purpose to which it was launched?
All right, do you see the E-NAIRA, how do you see the E-NAIRA playing out in 2022? Do you think that it's something that will actually be sustained?
Well, I have to be very honest with you. I've always been pessimistic about this whole E-NAIRA stuff. I don't think there will be much role it's going to play, since people are not even making use of it as such. If you look at the data of people who have downloaded this wallet, about 0.05% of them have not started transacting via the E-NAIRA. Why? Because even in the urban communities, none of them are even buying into the E-NAIRA transaction. How many malls have you gone to in this Abuja that accept E-NAIRA payment? I'm not aware. So now talk of going down to the rural areas. So it's going to be a bit challenging to predict the future in 2022 with this E-NAIRA, except if CBN is going to set up a kind of enlightenment committee that will go into these areas and begin to sell the idea to them.
All right, John Bosco, do you share his pessimism?
Not really. I'm more of I know innovation takes time and acceptance takes time. So that being said, the CBN has a lot to do here. Next year, I expect that there will be some form of push, or better still, the children of the government, civil servants, they have to be the first to adopt this and use. So the civil servants, I expect that they will be the first adopters to be able to preach this and take it up to the local communities and understand it well, because Nigerians are still skeptical about all of this. That leaves the CBN with a lot of work to do. There need to be grassroots campaigns for this, grassroots awareness, religious bodies need to help in promoting this, gatekeepers need to come in and all of this. But I believe in 2022, there will be more use of the E-NAIRA. There will be more use of the E-NAIRA because we love to experiment things. And all of this, I know that a lot of work went into creating this, because don't forget, over the years, the CBN has studied the fintech companies. They look at what is happening. They see all the money is invested and losing out. The Securities Exchange Commission, as well as looking at all the investments made on certain platforms that we're not certain of. But we know Nigerians cried, young Nigerians who have invested so much money cried a few months ago when many of the restrictions came. But I believe that CBN has an opportunity now, working with the financial institutions and working with the civil servants, as well as other agencies, to promote the E-NAIRA that will lead to acceptance. And I expect that the first quarter of 2022, not just in downloads, there'll be usage of the E-NAIRA.
Like Tochukwu rightly brought up, there hasn't really been anywhere that says, oh, we accept E-NAIRA here, to actually push the people to, start to download the wallet and actually start to transact with the digital coin. Now, Tochukwu, what do you think needs to be done to push store owners or business owners into accepting E-NAIRA? Because when you look at cryptocurrency, there are businesses that actually accept cryptocurrency as a form of payment. So how can we translate that into the digital currency that we have today?
You see, the problem is the value that cryptocurrency has. You cannot place actually cryptocurrency and E-NAIRA and begin to discuss them. They have a different parity. I mean, if you look at cryptocurrency, I could buy something of worth 10K this morning and transfer the 10K to your wallet. around 10 a.m. By 12, it could be possible that that money will rise to 12,000 or so. That's how it is with cryptocurrency. But now with E-NAIRA, I transfer the 10K, it remains 10K till donkey years. Nothing will happen to it. And that's why you see that as a business or as a blockchain expert, you would hardly buy into some of these things because you have other platforms that deals with this thing. There is Cluster Wave, there is what is it called? The other payment platform now for making of payment. All those platforms are also serving in place of E-NAIRA. The difference is just that E-NAIRA has to pass through a wallet. But what we're even saying in essence is that the whole gist of this whole E-NAIRA is to ease the ease of doing business in Nigeria, especially with regards to an average Nigerian. Now, those Nigerians you want to assist does not even understand the language you are communicating with. So you need to come down to their level. We know how far we have tried to push this Bitcoin business to people in the rural area. But let me tell you the truth. Once we say something Bitcoin and e-wallet, what comes to their mind is 419. Yes. You want to do pots, yeah, it's scam. Fraud. So, and that's what is happening in E-NAIRA. When you say federal government have blocked blockchains and people trading on cryptocurrency and they have introduced E-NAIRA, they say they want to steal our money. What if I put my money there and I die tomorrow? Who is going to own the money? How am I going to access it? So these are the security issues surrounding this thing, and we are not even ready to have conversation around that. If I put my 50K inside E-NAIRA wallet and nobody has access to my password to that wallet, what happens? Who owns that money if anything happens to me tomorrow? It's a very big question. I have not addressed that. This issue I've raised is still the major challenges we're having in cryptocurrency market up till now. That if you die and nobody has access to your wallet, your money goes, even though it remains there because it's on blockchain, it's unerasable, nobody can attempt it. It's just there, growing and dropping. Nothing will happen to it, but nobody can have access to it because they don't have access to your wallet.
So the same concept applies to the digital coin.
The same concept applies to E-NAIRA because you must have two-factor authenticator and your password. Now you have your password, you have your two-factor. Assuming without conceding, I even have access to your password, but I don't have access to your two-factor authenticator, that money will still be there. So these are problems, and you gotta meet a local woman selling rice on the street that you want to transfer E-NAIRA to her after eating rice. You just look at you like, this guy, what are you even talking about? These are realities on ground. Honestly, it's not about the invention. It's about people that you want to assist their life and make their life better with these things. They don't know what you are talking about. How do you communicate it to them? It is fair. We can use it here comfortably in Abuja, of course, because we understand the nitty-gritty and the atmosphere of the technology. But take it down to the rural area, you know that it's a different language you are speaking here. Honestly.
Yeah, I agree with you completely, and it speaks volume about awareness, campaigns and awareness. Don't forget, even when the CBN was pushing for cashless policy, we are still a little bit far from being completely cashless. I know it was when the banks,
there's a higher level of
acceptance. Yes, it was when the banks were brought in, and also fintech companies and innovators came on board. We can now use the USSD to do the transfers, got on to do internet banking and all of this. So it will take time. I know there's a lot of stories about people not able to access their wallet and all of this when they lose out on one of the authentication factors, or better still, at their demise. We know all of this happened, but over time, I'm certain that all of this will change, just like what has happened to us as a people, as a nation that we got here. But you see, government too is interested in making money. That is why governments around the world, it's getting into the blockchain space to be able to put all of this together and see how they make money. But you see, government too, all of these are created for social infrastructure. Many times it is not deeply to make money. That is why other players who are private sector need to be involved in all of this to carry this awareness, and also to see how the business development will come in that will facilitate and sustain the innovation that has come out of all these businesses, or better still, of the E-NAIRA and the digital currency which the CBN has created. You know, when you in the streets, when you ask people, or better still, when the government explained it to us, they said, "Oh, it's a digital asset. It is not cryptocurrency. These are semantics." If you ask me, all we know currently that this is a form of transaction which you need to do a lot of awareness to make people understand this. For free, the first uptakers, I believe, should be the civil servants. Let them go in there and take up this and promote it. They have numbers at least, and they are spread across the 774 local government. Let them take it up and pass this message down to every other person.
Is it just about passing the message? I mean, you can, decide to say, okay, your salaries are going to be paid into your E-NAIRA. So it's like, no.
Let me tell you why it's going to be difficult. Why it will be very. It may be so easy to say, yes, pay them their salary by E-NAIRA. Let me tell you the truth. As a matter of fact, from level 6 officers down, about 85% of them doesn't have access to smartphone in civil service.
Okay, we're not that sure about those figures. We still have to cross-check.
Yes, but let me be very frank with you. We have interacted with these civil servants, and I'm telling you, most of them that even use smartphones are not conversant with the apps inside. This one is reality, because we all have our parents now and they work in civil service. I know how many times they send you a message on WhatsApp and you want to just click and forward it to another group. It becomes difficult. Talk more of downloading a wallet, another wallet.
Come on, give our parents some credit.
The reality is that actually, I think the best way to go about it is that look at how Remita operates. Yeah. If we can channel E-NAIRA like the way Remita operates and say, okay, from today, all payment that is going to be made on any of the federal government institutions and parastatals should go via E-NAIRA. I think we can begin from there. Then move out from Remita and come to E-NAIRA. Then let's start from people who understands this whole stuff, and from there we'll begin to trickle down to the lowest level. But my major focus is on the fact that E-NAIRA is to ease of transactions, especially to an average Nigerian. Now, those Nigerians we're talking about, they don't have smartphones in the village. All they want is just to make phone calls to their sons and daughters in the city and sell their little things, get their 1 naira, 2 naira. So what is their business? What is their business with E-NAIRA and smartphones? And when you tell the person you need E-NAIRA to get this done, he will ask you, how do I get it? Mama, you need a smartphone. What is smartphone? This is the language of these people. And that's what we're talking about, except if we want to restrict the discussion to people in the city. And even if we do that, those in the cities are not yet conversant with smartphones. So it's
anyway,
a different thing.
The E-NAIRA isn't restricted to the people in the cities. It's supposed to actually provide financial inclusion by making financial services available to communities without enough banking opportunities. And we do know that there are a lot of people or a lot of communities that don't have those opportunities. So the E-NAIRA was supposed to ease that for them. So rather than saying, okay, because you live in Masaka, you have to come all the way to Wuse or something to use the bank there, it's now as easy as 1, 2, 3 on your phone.
Yes, because one of the features of this is well thought out. Credits to the CBN. Honestly, I looked at a lot of documents concerning what I've put out for the E-NAIRA. It's to include for financial inclusion. It's actually even going to get in most of the communities who are unbanked to make them available, and also create for digital footprint for most of the users or persons who will use the E-NAIRA. So these are the innovation I'm talking about. I just know, I am not completely certain, but I believe that by next year a whole lot will happen in that space. Nigerians will embrace it. Is our own, really. We know that we want, but don't forget, when there is a little bit of economic crunch, everybody wants to make quick money. Everybody wants to see their money growing so fast. Doesn't work that way, really. So I believe that there will be acceptance, and also transactions will happen. Rural communities, a lot of learning will happen too. The people are going to embrace the E-NAIRA.
All right. So my final question is this. Now, if you look at the digital currency for the U.S., Tether, it's on the blockchain system. You can actually find it in crypto wallets, cryptocurrency wallets, and all of that. Do you feel that it was a mistake for the Nigerian government not to, pick up that same system and have the E-NAIRA on a cryptocurrency wallet accessible to different cryptocurrency dealers or traders? Yes, and Tochukwu is just like, no. He does not want to know right now.
E-NAIRA is not tradable now. That's why it cannot be there.
Yeah.
Any currency, any digital currency you
But
find
what
on
is
the
the
wallet
government losing out by
is
not
tradable.
adopting blockchain technology or not, having the E-NAIRA on a cryptocurrency wallet?
I think it's just fear of the unknown, because in every innovative ideas, you have people who entertain this type of fear, especially when it comes to Africa. When anything comes to when a new technology comes to trend, government begin to sit back and watch. If they don't understand it, the next thing that comes to mind is
Ban it.
ban it. Let's go and sit down and see how this thing will work. Otherwise, it would have been the best opportunity for this E-NAIRA to thrive, having blocked other means of cryptocurrency transactions in Nigeria, with facilitation to central to commercial banks.
All right. Unfortunately, we don't have enough time to continue the discussion. But yes, I really do look forward to seeing how the E-NAIRA is going to play out in 2022. I mean, I am down for anything that makes my life easier. And I'm very sure that many Nigerians are too. All right. So I'd like to thank my guests in the studio. Thank you so much, Mr. John Bosco Ezenwa and Tochukwu Isa Usman for being a part of the show. And to all our viewers out there, thank you so much for watching the show. Don't forget to follow us on our social media platforms. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Just look us up at Trust TV News. Well, once again, my name is Chamun Dabeng. Come back again for more Business Daily. Let's talk numbers.